There we go. How's it going, Bigness? All right. I think we are all set here. It's just between now and the last time I streamed, I don't remember what seed that I had put into my thing, so I need to figure that out right now. So there's going to be a little bit of troubleshooting. I'm doing pretty good. Not a lot to report, really. I had to get home a little in a rush because the snow was coming down pretty heavy and slow things down a little bit, but it's cool. Everything's all right. Okay, let me see. Look at this for a minute. Surely I wrote this down somewhere. Oh, you know what? I can probably look in the profile. All right, 37698. Right, so 1356 was our original target. That wasn't it. Now we're shooting for the secret ID 22567. And with that, which seed did I go after? There's no way of really telling from this. I wouldn't be opposed to just starting from scratch again. Pretty sure my calibration is going to be helpful regardless. How am I about shiny hunting today? I'm about it. I don't know if I would necessarily call this shiny hunting in the traditional sense, but I'm feeling pretty good. And we came really close. We already hit one target last time. Ended up being the shiny that we wanted, but it was still useful because now we've eliminated one potential secret ID, and eventually we're just gonna find the right one. It's just how it works. So I'm going to, and let me just make this visible there. I'm going to look for a new seed now, a close shiny target. Hopefully something close-ish to what we had previously. $3,000's not bad. While I'm doing this, I would like to draw your all's attention to some of the additions to the layout. The first of which is a big quality of life feature, being the actual counter for how many Pokemon I've caught so far. Kind of depressingly, it's still at 0, so it doesn't look like much right now. But theoretically, at some point, that will start to fill up with Pokemon as I catch them. Okay, found a great seed, or a great spread here. So anyway, I have that set up for when we actually start adding members to the challenge here. And I also have the commands for chat listed up at the top. So, you know, if you want just kind of like a general summary of what the challenge is about, then you can type !rules, and that will kind of give you a little bit of a snippet. If you want an in-depth look, and you also want to see my big ol' spreadsheet with all the Pokemon that I'm going to be going after, the big checklist, as well as a more detailed list of the rules, then type in !Ulof, ULOF, and you'll get a link to that spreadsheet. So that's the plan. So please take advantage if you're interested in that, especially in the meantime while I'm still trying to land my first target. Oh, you know what? Looks like all these settings have been saved. Is that? Yeah, I can just go for the same spread, it looks like. Sweet. I don't need to reset. That's awesome. Well, in that case, we can just jump right in. Because I have Eon Timer, has all the same settings on it, so yeah, let's just jump right in. See what we get. Yeah, so 87B, that was the seed that I was going for, and it matches the Eon Timer, so yeah, we're good. So let's give this a shot. We were really close towards the end of the last stream, and I have no doubt that this will be hopefully less of a time commitment, hitting this next target here. All right. Let me get my bearings here. Yeah, I'm in calibration. Okay, nature, docile, male. All right, so looks like I was either early or late on my seed. And the one that I was 1 frame early for the seed is pretty close to my frame, so that's the one I'm going to assume I hit. So, noted. First rip, a little bit early on the seed, that's okay. Where is it, Bush? There it is. A lot of results with that one. And looks like I was late this time on the seed. Once again, I'm dancing around it, which is not altogether uncommon with this whole RNG manip sort of thing. Timid. Wasn't our target timid? Nine, 10, 12, 12. I'm getting a result that's on seed and on frame. So I think this is it. I think I hit my target. Let me just... Are these settings a little bit too wide? Seed, okay, well, let's reduce that to 5. And yeah, let's leave the advances the way they are. Doesn't matter. I am fairly certain that I just hit it. Which means the SID that I just tried is also not it. But, you know, that was quick, you know, getting through that. So I think all we can do is move on to the next one, right? So if, let me just turn that off real quick. If I am going to pick the next secret ID or the next closest, I tried on target what I expected to be on target, and I tried one late. So now I think it makes sense to try one early, just to kind of go around the average there. So what I'll do is, let me see. Way too many tabs open right now. There's spreads, okay. And the next one to try, so it's not this one, it's not this one. So I'm going to try this one. 31404 is going to be the next secret ID we're going to try. 31404, right? Yep. Okay. That was really quick. I'm happy with that. And hopefully the next one will be quick too, and also hopefully shiny, but who knows? So once again, we're going to look at the seeds, and we're also going to, let's go to maybe like, start like 380. We're just going to plug in some seeds, look for some quick shiny frames. And go from there. Oh, 300. It's actually too early. Can't do that. Oh, let me make that visible real quick. There we go. All right. 1,275. That's pretty good. So let's go with that. Has a 0 attack IV, which is cool. Interesting. Oh, but you know what? It's female. So if this ends up being shiny, we will have knocked out the female shiny Bulbasaur right away, which would be huge. That would be really nice. So fingers crossed that this is actually the shiny, that this is the right secret ID, but no way to know until we actually land on the target. So let me quickly, am I looking here? Get 10 lines open. Attack Bashful, 01823. Change that. What's 17018? There we go. '23, 21, 21. Very interesting IV spread, all in all. Oh, crap. I forgot I have to reset the page, too. We will make it. All right. We got our target. We got the settings right. And we're looking for, what is it? Mono LR as the setting with no help button. Button pressed is A. Mono LR. That's it, right there. So our advances are 1275. Put that in neon timer. And our milliseconds for the seed are that. Slightly longer than the first one. Button press A. No held button. And we'll again reduce the seed calibration a little bit lower there. And we're ready to go. Let's start ripping. Today's got to be the day. I hope you do, because there's going to be plenty of spreadsheet along the way. First try, anyone? No, it's male. It can't be the target. Alrighty. It's Quarky. Little Quarky guy. Good HP, though. I haven't seen very many with the 21 HP, so it must have a pretty high IV. And very few results, which is really refreshing. One seed late, but a little bit early on the advances, so I'm pretty dialed in. Might need to calibrate the advances afterward, but we're already pretty close. Well, I appreciate that, Jonathan. Really, I don't find much satisfaction in doing anything unless it's weird or unconventional, you know. Again, I'm someone who's drawn to novelty, you know. I like the shinies because they're different, even if some of them are really ugly. But they're rare and cool, so that's what makes them desirable to me. Alright, so at least we know right out of the gate that whether we hit it or not, because it's going to be female, and there's going to be very few female Bulbasaur that we're going to hit that are not our target. So, no need to get our hopes up or anything, or I should say my hopes up in those moments. And it looks like, again, I was late on the seed again, a little bit closer on the advances. Yeah, stupid is an understatement when it comes to Scarlet and Violet. At least, you know, it's kind of interesting to farm the Herba Mysticas from the raids. That's a kind of grind that I can subscribe to. It's a little satisfying, and you have some interesting raid targets. Oh snap. I think I was on seed 1 frame late. I don't know what to tell you. I'm dialed in today. Who knows? We might get this shiny, we might get more than one shiny. Which, in the grand scheme of things, we kind of have to do at a certain point, because if I just get one shiny every 3 streams, I will be here for probably the next couple decades, so let's hope that things are picking up a little bit. I would imagine Ursaluna does come in clutch. For whatever reason, I didn't ever really migrate the Arceus Mons into Scarlet and Violet. I think part of the reason was that I played through the game for home integration, and then I didn't really pick it back up much, except for when there were kind of like those big raid updates, and I would use my Azumarill. I used that one for so many of the legendary raids, or the... was it 6-star? However many stars they were. But I used that Azumarill a ton, and I made all sorts of sets just to beat those raids. Then eventually I couldn't keep up with them anymore. Became too much to maintain the raid schedule of Scarlet and Violet, among all the other things I had going on. One seed late, 2 frames early. Despite how tedious it was to keep up with that release schedule, I do think that I enjoyed the 6-star raids. That's one of the highlights of my Scarlet and Violet experience. Forces you to strategize, forces you to make sets of Pokemon that you probably would never use before. I always thought that was really cool. And of course, being someone who was into rare Pokemon, I wanted the exclusive ones with the titles and all that. And did I hit the same one? 21, 11, 10, 11, 12. Yep, I just hit the exact same frame, 1 seed late, 2 frames early. The baby version of VGC is a funny way to put it. Definitely lower stakes, I would say. I'm someone who's never really been a huge fan of like playing against actual people, mostly because I've, for most of those kinds of games, I've not been very good. I did have a lot of hours put into Halo, you know, when I was in middle school and high school, one of my go-tos. And I would love playing the campaign and trying to do legendary challenges and all of that. But when it came to doing actual matchmaking, which is what all my friends wanted to do, I was pretty bad for the most part. My KD was not solid. And so I feel like that's been a general trend in terms of the games that I've played, is that I'm not usually competitively apt. I'm not usually a viable player there. And that extends to VGC as well. I haven't done a ton of VGC, but I did want the ribbon on one of my Pokemon once, and I did the... in Sword and Shield, I went through and I got up to Master Ball tier, which was not really a fun experience at all, but I made it, and it was also in singles, so it wasn't even in doubles. But yeah, that experience is one of the few times that I've played competitively. And so you're right to say that, like with the raids, you know, you still strategize, you can still be very methodical and calculated, but the stakes are lower, shall we say. Or maybe it's less frustrating when you fail a raid because you can just do it over and over again. on frame 1 seed early. So I mean, people, we are close. I don't know what to tell you. It's so easy to have that tunnel vision just because there are, like, literally thousands of options that you have at your disposal. Maybe even in a given turn, but definitely over the course of several turns. Like, so many different possibilities. You have to have such an in-depth knowledge of the game. Of the Pokemon, the sets, the EV spreads, IV spreads. Like, it's just a lot. I really admire BGC players in general, but especially the ones that do well. Two seeds late this time, wow. Truly, human beings were not meant to be this precise with their timing. It's a female. Did we get it? Hey! Woo! Finally! The drought is over! There we go! Okay. The challenge has officially begun, ladies and gentlemen. After 2.5 streams, we are finally in this. All right. We are at 1. 1 out of a lot. But we have broke ground. And what's great about this is we got the female at the very first time. So now all the others are going to be pretty easy to RNG. And then all the other starters, it doesn't matter what gender they are, because they don't have different forms. So we got the most important one first, which is, you know, that's really nice. But yeah, awesome. So one thing, if you remember, the spread on this thing is 0 attack, so it's probably not going to do super well in the rival battle. But I have a potion, so I can cheat. Not that it really matters if I win this or not. More of just a convenience thing. Oh man, listen to that. I haven't heard shiny sparkles in a while. All right. This is probably going to go very poorly. Yeah, that's... I mean, that's not the worst damage. It's actually pretty close. This Charmander might suck as well. I'm not going to use the potion. Oh! Yep. Sucks to suck. Look at that little green frog. That green plantoid frog. Alright, so here's kind of the game plan. Now that I've finally gotten a shiny here in Leaf Green, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the point where I can get Pokeballs. Then I'm going to catch a bunch of Pokemon. I think I need to catch 9 or 10. I probably need to catch 10 to be exact, because for the next several targets, I'm going to be resetting Fire Red over and over again and getting starters from there, including 3 more Bulbasaur, and then 3 Squirtle and 3 Charmander for the full shiny living dex. And then I think I might also reset and just get 1 regular female Bulbasaur, because I need the regular female of that. Because I just think it'll be slightly more convenient to do that than to breed for a female Bulbasaur. I mean, it's not really something worth RNGing in my opinion, so... so yeah, 10 more Pokemon in this little stretch here. So, you know, you are right to question. Should you be thinking that, oh wow, it took him so long to get that first one, how many weeks is it going to take to get the rest? Well, I'm pretty dialed in, you know. I think, you know, my whole first stream, I was basically missing a few steps. And then last week, I was getting the hang of things, you know, towards the end. So I would predict and aspire to get these next shinies a lot faster than I have before. And what would be really nice is if the calibration that I'm using for Leaf Green holds up for Fire Red. It probably won't, but as soon as I build that calibration back, I can use it for all the others, so it's not that big of a deal if there's some differences. Alright, so hopefully I can relatively easily just catch 10 Pokemon as trade fodder. I think I really only need to catch 9, but you get the idea. And we won't count that Pidgey towards the total because it will eventually be sent to the abyss and deleted. Oh, come on. Another tackle miss. Been seeing a lot of those over the course of this challenge. Alright, don't break out of this. Make my life a little bit easier, please. Nice. It's pretty agonizing just walking around, not being able to run or use a bike or anything like that. All right. Let's go ahead and get a Premier Ball, even though I'm not going to be using it. All right, we have 4. We need 5 more. Oh, you missed tackle this time. Funny how that works. Alright, just 2 more. Then we'll have what we need. Alrighty. So we got our trade fodder locked and loaded. Now I'll just get in position and then we can jump into Fire Red and go for another starter. Yes, thank you for your extensive tutorial on the Union Room and all the other wireless features that I'm not going to use. All right. We are now moving on from my labelless leaf green and going on to my fully intact Fire Red, which I've had for a very long time. Pretty sure this has no save file on it, but... Yep, so we can go ahead and start. What I'll probably do is, because Eon Timer will save the calibration of the that was last used, I'll probably just open up a new instance of Eon Timer. That way I don't have to save over it. Okay. Advances, target is that. And I should be landing, with this timer, I should be landing on around frame 1356. And last time I landed on frame 1355. So, one earlier. That felt pretty late to me, honestly. I may want to do that again. Because we definitely don't want to spend unnecessary time looking for different secret IDs that we possibly hit. So, no harm in just running through that again real quick. Alright, that one felt much better. So, once again, major key. Get this potion out of here. Really helpful for calibration later, should we need to calibrate. And so what I'm thinking is, you know, because this is fire red, that's not Charmander. I think the next one should be Charmander, right? Just, seems appropriate. Alright, so there's a few things I need to switch over here. I need the seeds, and I need the different seeds, because these are for leaf green, and I need fire red. So actually, let me switch out of this real quick. Yeah. All right. So, here, let me pull this up. So this is my list for fire red seeds, and there's two different columns here. One of them is for fire red version 1.0 and 1.1. Wait, why are these? Oh, that's just the different button modes. Never mind. But what is important is I need to know which version my cartridge is. Is it 1.0 or is it 1.1? And you can tell what the version is by checking the title screen. So, what are the settings for this? Oh, this is stereo and L equals A. So we might as well set that up. L equals A. Alrighty. So this is worth checking out just real quick here. In this logo sequence, if that shooting star comes by, you see a Game Freak, and it says presents underneath, then you know you have Fire Red version 1.1. If it doesn't say presents underneath, then it's 1.0. So that might come into play as we go in terms of calibration, but I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to open up the other one again. And I'm just gonna see what happens. Of course, I need to find a target, but I'm gonna try with all my calibrated settings in here and see if that works. Go around maybe the 280 range again. Oh, I do need to figure out what secret ID I likely hit. So I'll plug that seed in real quick, and then let's see where we might have landed. All right, so I have my ID tab here. You know what? I didn't even check which ID I got, so that would probably be helpful. That's a pretty cool ID. $18,555. And if I was on target, my secret ID should be 27091. Was I on target? Maybe not, but we'll see. All right, 18,555, 27091. So that's our tentative secret ID now. So now we're going to assume that's our secret ID. So if we look for a shiny on this seed, it's 10,000 in, so that's too far. So let's just keep plugging and chugging. $1,900's pretty good, but I'd like something a little bit more convenient. I think we can do better. Let's let the intro roll while I'm doing this. $159 frames. Yeah, no thanks. Not exactly practical distance away. Now 1900 is starting to look real nice. Right about right now. Okay, here we go. 964. That's pretty good. 0 defense stat, which is fun. So I definitely need to pay attention when I'm putting in these settings here. Don't want to screw things up. So my IDs are so such and such. And my secret ID is this. Static. I'm looking for Charmander in Fire Red. Shiny. This is going to be a rash one. $22,290. This is a very interesting spread because it's 22-29, 0 defense, 2 special attack, 0 special defense. So its defenses are the lowest they can possibly be. So maybe we hope that we didn't hit our secret ID first time, because this would be a terrible Bulbasaur. But maybe this will be the one, or not Bulbasaur, Charmander. But maybe this will be the one that we keep unevolved. Not all of them have to be great. 2012. Okay. We are not on Leaf Green anymore. We're on Fire Red English. Nintendo DS. And we're looking for the one with stereo, L equals A, held button, no, none. This is our target. We'll take these milliseconds, plug them into Eon Timer, and we'll take those frames, plug them into this. So let's see. Let's see if we can just like get another shiny like that. We could do that, right? That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so we have a decent amount of results here, but there's one where I was on frame and one seed late. And I don't know, I feel pretty good about it. So I'm going to assume that's the one I hit. If we start to see some anomalies moving forward, then maybe not, but that feels good to me. Dang, so many results still. Again. Oh wait, that's not quite right. Why are there so many results? Alright, you know what? Perhaps now is the time to calibrate. I'm not seeing anything that makes sense. Really nothing that makes sense. Alright, let's get a level. I did hit that. So I hit one seed late, and I was pretty early with the frames. So maybe the frames are going to have to be adjusted for Fire Red a little bit. But I guess we won't know really what we need to calibrate with until we hit the seed. Once again, quite a few results. But I would imagine that that's probably one seed late, or early, because that's the only one that makes sense on this. Been early, been late. Dang, look at all these results around my seed. I think I hit this one before. Let me just go ahead and reduce this down to like plus or minus 3 seeds, because I don't need all that. Yep. 1 seed laid again, and still a little bit off on the frames. We can't really calibrate that yet until we hit the seed at least once. Oh, jumped the gun a little bit there. Okay, so looks like I landed on seed this time with my frame hit being 956, and we're aiming for 964. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my calibration here. 956, yep. And update that. And now we're locked and loaded. Now, at any moment, we could get this Charmander here. Hopefully a shiny Charmander. It's not guaranteed to be, but it could be. Oh, dang. I hit the wrong button there. I feel like subconsciously I will alternate between the A and the B button when I'm just trying to mash through things, because I feel like I want to preserve each button as best I can, get the most out of them. And if I divide the load between the A button and the B button evenly, theoretically, I can extend the lifespan as much as possible. So that is a very long, drawn-out excuse for why I just hit B there. But it is what it is. Email. Email modest. Okay, 1 seat early. Pretty late on the advances, actually. That's kind of range. But it was not on the right seat, so we won't worry about it too much. It's rash. Isn't that what we were going for? 20, 11, 9, 12, 9, 12. It appears we have hit it. So once again, I have not landed on the secret ID that I anticipated that I would. So that's one stricken off the list, which means we just need to try again with that little process there. So if I go back to the ID tab, so I assumed I hit this, and apparently I did not. Last time I was early. So let's try that one next. Maybe I'm just skewing early in general. So this next secret ID would be 55632. So I'll go into my manager here. 55632. And yeah, that's not good there. And we're just going to look for a good seat again. Maybe a little earlier this time. But I mean, we're dialed in after, you know, the seat calibration is basically the same from Leaf Green. And the advances in-game, we sorted that out pretty quick. So once again, we're locked and loaded. It will not be long before we get our next shiny starter here. Whoops. 427. Is that hittable? How long does it take? What is 427? How long does that actually take? Eight seconds? Can I... it's just a little bit too short. A little bit longer, I'd be fine, but... Okay, that's pretty decent. 1456. Little hasty guy. 0 attack and 0 defense. So again, not the best one to use for the playthrough. With that. Alright, so we'll go back to the 10 lines, we'll plug this guy in. And, you know, why don't we just say, to end the stream tonight, why don't we just go ahead and we land this this guy here. Whether he's shiny or not, let's just give it a go and make sure that we update the secret ID in the process. Alright. 19 HP, 0 attack, 0 defense. What a specimen. 2718. Oh wait, what did I just do? Oh. Yeah. Is that all right? 2718, that's right. No results. What is going on? Oh. Silly me. The wrong profile was selected. But that's not even going to be a shiny that I can use, so I got to find another one. Alright, so let's go back to plugging in seeds real quick. But we'll find something else soon, I'm sure. All right, another 1279. That's pretty good. We'll go with that one. $724.11. It's timid. $724.11. And do I need to reset the page again? Of course I do. Okay. Okay. We got our result. Fire red is the game. 1279 is the name. Stereo LA. Button A. Held press none. Put in our target milliseconds. Put in our target frame. Go into this page. And we are off to the races. Nope. Nope. Jump the gun a little bit. Thank you, Cerulean Hero. It's the first of many to come. And who knows, maybe the next one will come any moment now. Is very high for a initial spawn like that. Okay, on frame, 1 seed early. Let's hit this boy. Let's do it. Wow, I was 1 seed late and on frame. Oh, how RNGesus toys with me. What's my plan for Vivian? Well, I haven't put too much thought into it because I don't want to give myself an aneurysm before Gen 6, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way it works is you can change the region on your console and start the game, and based on whatever region your console is set to, that's what pattern Vivian you'll get. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to start a bunch of files of X or Y, changing the region each time to match the Vivian pattern that I need. And then once I catch 3 of the lines, so a Scatterbug, a Spupa, and the Vivian, the regular form and the shiny, so 6 total. Once I catch all 6 of those in a given save file, I will trade them over to a master file, perhaps. And then I will reset and do it all over again. And I will do that for however many forms of Vivian there are, which there's a lot. Can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But that applies to all Vivian except, of course, the event Pokeball Vivian, which is not obtainable in the wild. And the fancy pattern, I think that's what it's called. The fancy pattern from an event originally, but then is also available in Scarlet and Violet in the wild, the green one. That one is, I need to obtain the Scatterbug and the Spupa from Scarlet and Violet. And the shiny version from Scarlet and Violet. Man, I'm really leaning late on my seat. I guess I was earlier too, but... Alright, gang, how about this? How about I just hit it right now and then call it a night? Does that sound good to y'all? Not quite. One seed late on frame. I've been on frame, I think, like 3 separate times now, with a difference of 1 seed, either early or late. So there are certain limitations on a single console for getting the forms of Vivian. Wasn't aware of that. And if that is the case, then I might just need to buy a console that can get those forms. I don't know. May also be an instance of using a scenario where might need to use some 3DS custom firmware just to make those available, if it's like a region lock thing or something. Is that the same one I just hit? Yeah. 15 out of 18, okay. So probably, well, hopefully, I don't know if I would go so far as to buy an entirely separate console just for the other 3 forms of Vivian, although I'm definitely not above that. If that's truly what I need to do to get them all, then I might as well do it. And I have to start a bunch of new files anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I do them all on one console. It is, though, important that I do them mostly on one console because I have a capture card in a console, so that can be properly streamed, but we'll work our way around it once we get there. Again, maybe it's something I can address with custom firmware, I don't know. I haven't been able to hit on frame. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit it this time. This is going to be the time. And then when I hit it, we can all be happy about it and then go on about our nights. That seed felt late, honestly, but we'll see. That was too late. Okay. For real, this is the last attempt of the night, because I do have to go to bed at some point. So we'll give it one last rip. If we hit it, that'll be great. Great way to end the stream. If not, that's cool. We'll just start next stream with a big fat W. How about? Yeah. Probably hit this one already too, because I'm seeing Impish a lot. One seed late, on frame. All right, so we're really, really close. When we pick up next time, I'll probably get it shortly after stream, and hopefully it will be shiny. You never know. Anyway, thank you all so much for stopping by and witnessing the very first Pokemon of the challenge. You know, we got the shiny Bulbasaur and we got the female, which is really nice. That saves us a lot of trouble later down the road. Yeah, so I think the plan as of right now is I was going to do Tuesday through Thursdays for the stream, and seems like Wednesdays are going to be a little bit more difficult. So what I've thought to do instead is I'm going to keep Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm thinking about maybe doing like kind of like an afternoon stream on Sundays, or at least most Sundays. But either way, I'll schedule it. If y'all want to jump in, but either way, I will see you all